three backs that can run the football and run the football extremely well in Paul Johnson's triple offense. And not only that, if LSU can slow them down, they may have a chance. But I don't even think they can slow them down, much less stop this triple option offense.
I would have to agree with you. But LSU's given up 30 points 3 straight games. Never in the history of the school have they given up 30 points in 4 straight games. They're going to have an awful lot of problems on defense, particularly the fact that they have a young quarterback. They aren't very prolific on offense. They're going to have to play perfect defense, but above all, they better be physical and they better tackle, Mark May.
They better, but cutting is legal, Reese.
Yes, it is, and you'll probably see some of it completely legal, the low blocks from the offensive linemen. Should Georgia Tech beat LSU, it would be the most losses LSU has suffered in a season. It would be their 6th since the final year of the Jerry DiNardo era. LSU and Georgia Tech coming up now.
It's the Chick-fil-A Bowl on New Year's Eve. Two teams battle for the final victory of 2008. LSU hopes to continue its bowl dominance under Les Miles. The power running of Charles Scott and a run-stuffing defense will face a tough test tonight. The Ramblin' Wreck of Paul Johnson's produced 9 wins, with the ACC Player of the Year leading the way. We ring in the new year in Atlanta with the ACC and the SEC next. ESPN's presentation of college football brings you the Chick-fil-A Bowl from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. And our matchup, the hometown team, the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech, against the Tigers of LSU. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. What a spot I've got. I got to get upstairs soon. But what a season it's been for Georgia Tech. For only the 2nd time in 10 years, only the 3rd time in 52 years they can have a 10-win season. For LSU, defending national champions, but they lost their last 2 games of the regular season. They'd like to erase that taste out of their mouth with 09 just around the corner. With more on that, let's head up to the booth and my partner, Bob Greasy. Grease.
All right, Ness. You know, it was Matt Flynn of that championship team last year. He's gone. This was supposed to be the year of Ryan Perilou. The redshirt junior was kicked off the team by Les Miles the first week in May. They have leaving a huge gap in the quarterback position. 3 quarterbacks have played. We're down to the freshman, the true freshman, Jordan Jefferson, gets the start tonight. They have all struggled. All 3 have struggled. All 3 have been inconsistent. If they're going to win tonight, they're going to have to play well.
Here come the Tigers from Baton Rouge, and they love this building. 6-1 all time in the Georgia Dome, and try to make it 5 straight in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And as we go to our man on the cart, and very nattily attired tonight, Paul McGuire, I got to tell you, I don't know if it's the future or the past, but the offense of Georgia Tech is very unique.
This spread option offense is the present and the future of Georgia Tech as long as Paul Johnson is the head coach of this football team. I'm on the cart. I will be about 20 feet above the field, bringing you this offense up close and personal and trying to explain exactly what they're doing. You know, Ness, that most people think that this is a running offense. Well, not so. This also is a great passing offense. You watch Georgia Tech execute passing tonight. You'll love it.
15th time, the ACC and the SEC in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. It's coming up next. We get set for LSU and Georgia Tech before we kick down to the field. 4th man in our team with head coach Les Miles is Jack Carew. Jack.
Happy New Year's, Brad. Coach, let me ask you, there was a little bit of a scare during pregame warm-ups with your receiver, Brandon LaFell. What's the update?
LaFell's going to be fine. He got a little tweaked ankle, but he'll be back. He'll play.
Let's talk a little bit about the challenge you faced with this spread triple option that Paul Johnson brings. How did you prepare for it?
Well, it was very difficult. They changed our practice structure, did everything we could to accommodate the speed of the game. We think we did a good job. We'll find out tonight.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Take care.
A couple of risk takers, Paul Johnson and Les Miles. Yellow Jackets won the toss and have deferred, so they'll kick away, and LSU behind their freshman quarterback will have the first crack, and there he is. Bob talked about him. He'll have his hands full against a Georgia Tech front 4 that's one of the best in college football. As Trendon Holiday and Ron Brooks back up, Scott Blair's got it teed up. Chick-fil-A Bowl from Atlanta. Final game of the year. With a lot more football on Capital One Bowl week yet to come. But here we go on New Year's Eve. Line drive and it goes out of bounds. That's not the way you want to start the ball game. It gives the Tigers great field position. Jordan Jefferson out of St. Rose, Louisiana, will set his offense up now as the ball went out of bounds. LSU comes in 7-5. Their offense way off what they did a year ago in both yardage and points. But a lot of it is, as Grease mentioned, because of the problems at quarterback. But when you set up at your own 40 in a bowl game, your first bowl game, well, that's not too bad. Bird and Tolliver, the wideouts. Quinn Johnson, the fullback, with Charles Scott, the big bruiser, at tailback. And he's got all the way down to the 46-yard line before Georgia Tech can even slow him down. When I said a bruiser, 235 pounds, and he got a head of steam right off the bat, Bob.
Well, that's what LSU wants to do, is establish some kind of running game. Watch this play right up the middle. Big Herman Johnson, the left guard, 79, getting a block right up the center. If you can get a running game, these young quarterbacks are going to play and throw when they want to.
He's in the shotgun now on first down. He rolls to his right to throw and fires a strike. And it's going to be a first down at the 35-yard line to Mitchell. Let's take a look at our LSU impact players. I think Bob might have mentioned our first one. Herman Johnson, somewhere between 360 and 375, but he'll run you over. He's a first-team All-American. Brandon LaFell, one of the top receivers in the SEC, coming in with 8 touchdown catches. And Trendon Holiday on special teams. You've got to be aware of him as a punt and kickoff return man. So immediately LSU with the kickoff out of bounds, and now they've got it at the Georgia Tech 35-yard line already. Here's Jefferson. Fires, complete again. Terrence Tolliver. Well, he doesn't look rattled, does he? Mario Butler is the guy that made the tackle. There's Brandon LaFell. And no pun intended, but before the ball game, he did fell, that is. Right there, tripped over a teammate, kind of does a somersault, and then stayed on the ground. And as Les told Jack, no problem, he'll be ready to go, but he's not in there right now. First down inside the Georgia Tech 25. Keelan Williams now will flank Jefferson. And he gets the call. Williams left side. Georgia Tech has not even slowed down the LSU offense so far. When you talk about how things went, 3-5 in the conference. National champs a year ago, as we talked about. Ryan Perrilloux dismissed from the team in May, so now you have to restructure things at quarterback. They started 5-1, then they had some heartbreaking losses to Alabama and Arkansas, especially the one at the end of the season to the Razorbacks. Jefferson throws another strike inside the 10 into the 9 is Richard Dixon, the tight end. And the folks that have come from the Bayou to Atlanta for New Year's are celebrating already.
Hey, Ness, let me tell you something. When you take a look at these two guys on the left side block, Black, who's 6'6", 325 pounds, and Herman Johnson, the guy you talked about, 6'7", 375. There is no way that the defensive end and tackle can get to the quarterback.
Jefferson right on the money, Brad. Very impressive starting this drive out. You've got the running game going. He's right on target.
LaFell is in there to the top of your screen and now comes in motion to the ball. First and goal. Jefferson's going to keep it all the way. Hurdles a man, heading to the corner, and he got out of bounds maybe at the 2-yard line. Dominique Reese knocked him out.
And what you're seeing is the best of Jordan Jefferson. They like to get him outside the pocket, either to throw the ball early or he sprinted out and threw. This is a pure quarterback sweep. His athleticism, excuse me, just shows you right there. But he can throw and he can run. That's what they like about this young freshman.
3 tight ends set with Scott, the tailback. Second down and goal, LSU knocking on the Georgia Tech door early in the first quarter. Scott walks in, touchdown, LSU. guys that Paul just mentioned with a gaping hole off the left side, and that's just too easy. 60-yard drive, and Scott goes in for the 16th time this year. Georgia Tech's defense just shell-shocked here in the opening 3 minutes. Colt David's extra point is up and good. The coach's first team pick as the All-SEC tailback, doing the honors here for the first score of the night. Scott to the end zone. LSU 7-0. It was a high-definition drive for LSU to open things up as you look at the skyline of downtown Atlanta, Georgia, and the capital of the state on a windy, cool day after a gorgeous day yesterday. But it's heating up already inside the Georgia Dome. A 60-yard drive in a hurry for LSU. Josh Jasper to kick off. Marcus Wright and Roddy Jones wait on the other end. This will be Wright from the 3. Marcus Wright hurdles his way out to the 20, about a 17-yard return. Let's check in with Jack.
Brad, you ask a true freshman to stand up and be the leader, and that is what they have asked LSU's Jordan Jefferson to do. How did he respond? Just 2 days ago, he asked to address the team. He told them, look, I know I'm a freshman. I know I'm new. I know this is an important bowl game. And then he looked them all in the eye and he said, I will not let you down. He didn't in that drive, did he, guys?
Boy, did he ever. He delivered on everything.
They forgot to tell him he's a freshman.
Georgia Tech now first down from its own 20-yard line. They've worked a little on their passing game in the 15 practices since the regular season ended. Play fake. Josh Nesbitt throws complete down the sideline. Jonathan Dwyer. Dwyer all the way to the 40-yard line. The ACC Player of the Year.
Paul Johnson talking to him before the game, had a little smile, winked at me, he says, we may start this game with a little trickeration, you know what I'm saying? Toss a little fake and hit Dwyer, number 21, out of the backfield.
That's
Big
only Jonathan's 6th catch of the year, and it goes 40 yards to the 40. Neither one of these coaches is without their trickeration in their back pocket. First down, Georgia Tech. Another play fake. Nesbitt's in trouble this time. Deep ball to Demarius Thomas. Touch. Nope. Broken up. He had it. Chad Jones saved the day.
I'll tell you what, Chad Jones made a perfect read on the ball. Now, he really wasn't. He was looking at the receiver, and as he was watching the receiver come down, Thomas with the ball, watch him. He looks at the receiver. As soon as he sees him catch the ball, he slaps the ball away. Boy, is that perfect timing.
The bottom line is he was beat, Paul, and the throw was there. Thomas just didn't come down with the football.
And you see Josh Nesbitt's reaction.
Yeah.
Second down and 10. Now it's Dwyer into the middle of the pack. Good for 2.5 maybe. Kelvin Shepard made the stop. And it's going to bring up a third down for Georgia Tech.
That's as much of excitement out of the passing game as Georgia Tech has had all year.
Yeah, they don't pass often. But when they do, many times they're big plays.
Well, you look at these guys from Georgia Tech, Ness, and every guy that's caught at least one pass on this team has averaged over 10 yards a catch.
Yep. Third down and 8. Tech 38% on their third down conversions this year. They'd like to keep this opening drive alive. Nesbitt throws incomplete, intended for Luke Cox. And Georgia Tech will have to give it up.
Yeah, Georgia Tech is not good on third and long trying to pick up a first down by throwing the football.
Well, let me go back a little bit when I said they'll have to give it up. I told you Paul Johnson's not afraid to gamble. He's out of field goal range. He doesn't want to give up the opening possession, or does he? Oh, now they do change their mind. He almost went for it. And they have gone 22 times on fourth down this year. Now, if you do have a play, well, they're going to set up for a field goal. I don't know if it's going to be a 55-yard field goal or a pooch kick.
This could be a little trickeration also.
This could be a little bit of anything.
Georgia Tech defense is just playing it like it's a scrimmage play.
LSU's defense, yep.
Yeah.
And delay a game now. LSU's players fired up. Georgia Tech's got to send some sort of team out there. We'll find out in a second.
What you got to do now is make sure you get 11 guys out there because there's a lot of confusion on this sideline.
Well, Scott Blair now comes out, which is what we thought would happen initially. And he'll set up to punt. Blair averaging just over 39 yards a kick. He's knocked 10 inside the 20-yard line this year, which is what he'd like to do. Chad Jones, who broke that pass play up in the end zone, is back as a punt return man. Here's Blair. High in the air. Jones, fair catch, taken at about the 16-yard line. 10:20 remaining first quarter. LSU's got a touchdown lead, and they've got the football when we come back. Snow Mountain opened for the first time ever today at Stone Mountain Park. Hundreds of sledders came by to enjoy the man-made snow in the tubing hill. Starting in November, 6,000 tons of snow was created to build that fantastic winter wonderland out at Stone Mountain Park. It looks like fun. This guy's had fun so far, at least on the opening drive he did. LSU starts from its own 16-yard line. Jefferson in the shotgun, flanked by Murphy. And in trouble, and down he goes. Michael Johnson came flying off the corner for Georgia Tech for his 8th sack of the year. Boy, he was not touched.
Yes, this is the first time he's played on that side in this game. The first series, he was on the right side. Now look, they move him over to the left side, and he's over Barksdale, and they never even touched him.
You would think if he's their best defensive lineman, that they would have one of their offensive linemen on him, wouldn't you, Paul?
Yeah, they got enough big guys up there.
Now LSU swaps all their receivers, a shift from right to left. 4 wideouts for Jefferson. He could be in a little bit of heat here, but he's going to run it all the way. And he got out to about the 14-yard line. As we take a look at our impact players for Georgia Tech, even though Jonathan Dwyer is the player of the year, you got to watch out for Roddy Jones. When he gets a pitch on the corner, he can take it. How about this impact player? He already has made one. His 8th sack of the year, Michael Johnson, the big defensive end. And on the back end, look out for Morgan Burnett. 7 interceptions this year, tied for best in the country. And Jordan Jefferson's got to be thinking about where number 1 is right here. 3rd down and 12. Jefferson in trouble, got it away, and Morgan Burnett's going to make the tackle on Terrence Tolliver. Well, he got the completion, but Burnett was right there.
You know, Ness, can I just say that Morgan Burnett, you were talking about him, about all his interception and everything, but this is the leading tackler on this football team. And when he makes a play on somebody, he doesn't miss a tackle.
Brady Dalfrey stands at about his own 5-yard line to kick. There's his numbers on the year. Andrew Smith is back for Georgia Tech. Their punt return units have been a little bit of a problem for him at times this year. Way up in the air on the kick. And the fair catch is taken at the 13-yard line. The spread option of Georgia Tech. Grease, explain it to us a little bit.
Paul Johnson, you know, it's a triple option. The first thing right here is the dive. You've got to stop the fullback. The middle linebacker and the defensive end are responsible for that. The quarterback is looking at that tight end, at the defensive end. Then he comes down the line. If he sees a man right at him that won't let him run the ball up inside, then he has the option to pitch the ball, which is the last and third part of the triple option.
And sometimes that's number 20, Roddy Jones, who I mentioned as an impact player. There's the pitch, just like Grease drew it up. Roddy Jones, all the way to the 49-yard line.
I didn't know they were going to run that.
Hey, Grease, and you did it on the same side of the field that they ran it on. It was like you called the play, and here it comes. I mean, this is beautiful. Go.
Here we go, right from behind. He's going to pull it out of the belly, go down. He sees the men there. Gives a little toss, a nice block on the outside. So, you know, you could do everything right defensively and still lose 10, 12 yards.
By the way, the jerseys weren't the same color. This is the first time Georgia Tech's worn dark blue since the ACC title game of '06.
Yes.
Other than that, it looked like the same play. There's a late pitch again to Jones. This time runs into some traffic at about the 41-yard line, and we got a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. Appears that LSU was offside if the preliminary signal was right. A key matchup. Well, we've already kind of touched on it. When you got the 3rd best rushing team in the country against the 17th best rush defense in the country, something's got to give. Now they are walking this off, it appears, against Georgia Tech. No, they aren't. The preliminary signal was right. Goes back to the LSU 43-yard line. Les Miles, what a job he's done at LSU. 41-11 in his 4th year. He's 18-0 in non-conference games. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
This obviously is a non-conference game.
Right. It's pretty good in this building also.
Oh, absolutely. First down and 5. Nesbitt, play action, throws, incompletes. Intended for Lucas Cox. It's been quite a season for Georgia Tech, though. Under a first-year head coach, everybody said, could it work? Well, he's coach of the year. How's that for working? I mean, his offense. They started 6-1, upset loss to Virginia by a touchdown. Then they came back. Jonathan Dwyer, player of the year. Morgan Burnett, 7 interceptions that we mentioned. And now the upset win over Georgia, 45-42 to snap a 7-game losing streak against the Dogs. And now looking for their 10th win of this 08 season. Nesbitt keeps this one himself. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down.
But he didn't have any of his players. Wait till he gets some of his good players. Yeah. Then he's really going to be good.
Well, these guys were not recruited to play this system, but they've taken to it pretty well.
And this is the youngest team in the ACC. 16 starters are either freshmen or sophomores. Wait till he gets his own guys in that can fit this offense. He came in and played with Chan Gailey's players from last year.
Here's another 3rd down. This might even be 2-down territory for Georgia Tech. Dwyer off the left side. He's short. Nice play by Beckwith, the middle linebacker. Sean Green, get a chance to watch him as we did against Penn State. He's sensational.
Oh, he's outstanding.
4th down and a long one. So I mentioned this is the 23rd time Georgia Tech has gone for it on 4th down this year. Here's the pitch to Roddy Jones. He's got the first down. So the drive stays alive to the 35. Harry Coleman brings down number 20.
You know, Ness, you were talking about this young man. Be very careful of Roddy Jones. He shows you his speed right here. Watch him get to the outside. He knows where the first down marker is. He gets an outstanding block by the fullback. But look at this play. He picks up that yardage with speed.
A couple plays ago, Demarius Thomas breaks the huddle and comes out right to the camera. He was retaping his ankle on the sideline. He's Georgia Tech's big play receiver. Really, they only have one big play receiver. He's it. Flag down the general vicinity of holding, but we'll wait and see. Ricky Jean Francois is the guy that made the play.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense. Number 71. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, I know that the LSU coaches were talking about that with us before the game, Bob. And
yeah, Les Miles was mentioning it amongst a lot of other things. Watch 71 right here. Oops, sorry about that.
Cord Howard. And there it is on 91,
right there,
Charles Alexander.
Yeah, that's a good call. The officials, the chop block is when you have 2 men blocking on one defensive man. One goes high and one blocks low, both at the same time.
If you're not engaged high, it's not a big deal. But if you got 2 guys tangled up with the same guy, it's a no-no. And that backs it up to midfield. 1st and 25. Nesbitt, quarterback draw all the way. Hurdled one man, hit from behind, but got about 7 before Alim made the stop. Game plan, Grease, for Georgia Tech should be what they've done all year, huh?
Well, for Georgia Tech, it's run the rock. You got to do what you do best. All that throwing we're seeing early is just window dressing. Solid quarterback play we've seen already for LSU, and they're up 7-0.
That with 4:24 remaining in the first quarter of the Chick-fil-A Bowl. As you look behind Josh Nesbitt and Jonathan Dwyer. Roddy Jones in a slot this time to the near side. The pitch is to Dwyer. Got one block, got another. Inside the 35 and picks up a big chunk of the lost yardage on the penalty, and it'll make a manageable at least 3rd down and 9. Chad Jones made the tackle. Well, LSU, if you're just joining us, took the opening kickoff that went out of bounds, so they started at their own 40-yard line. They drove it right down the field with Jordan Jefferson throwing the ball, Charles Scott running. They went 60 yards in 7 plays in just 3 minutes. That's where we are right now, 7-0. But Paul Johnson's Yellow Jackets on the move right now if they can keep the drive alive here on 3rd down. They've already converted 1 4th down. Nesbitt, quick drop. The throw's complete to Thomas. Demarius Thomas. And it's 1st down, Georgia Tech.
Boy, this happened right here in front of me, Ness and Grease, and I'm going to tell you something. That was just a nice catch by Demarius Thomas. He ran down and just sets up. Watch him. And this ball's kind of thrown a little bit behind him. Look at here. Watch his concentration. Reaches back, gets control of the ball, and then Hawkins brings him down.
He's caught like 60% of their completions. He's a big guy, 230 pounds. But he's the target when they want to start throwing the football.
His 37th catch of the year, and it puts him over 600 yards on the year. Now it's Nesbitt to the 12. Josh Nesbitt. That was a sneaky run of 11.
Sneaky.
He just kind of hid behind his blockers and kept finding a way. Georgia Tech, you talk about a 3-headed monster. There they are. Dwyer, Jones, and the quarterback Nesbitt racking up huge numbers, and the number 3 rushing team in the country.
Yeah, how about that? 9.1.
So another Georgia Tech 1st down at the 12-yard line of LSU. Here's the pitch. It was high, but he got it. Peoples. And Peoples inside the 10 to about the 8, picked up 4. Georgia Tech can get a 1st down inside the 2-yard line.
One of the interesting things, Ness, is Nesbitt, when he gets up the line of scrimmage, I mean, he doesn't stand tall like a quarterback to go throw the ball and wants to see the coverage. Watch what Nesbitt does when he gets up the line of scrimmage.
He's going to get down low.
Look at
him. With Dwyer right behind him. Only about a yard this time.
Kind of getting up there like he's hiding behind the center.
Absolutely.
You know, Grace, you talk about Nesbitt, and it's really interesting being down here instead of up in the booth when you see him. His head's like he's on a swivel. You know, when you talk about that triple option when he comes down the line of scrimmage, he just sees everything. On that last play, when Ness said about that sneaky little move he made, he saw that hole so quickly and got to it quickly. He really is pretty good.
This is 3rd and 5. Again, they can get a 1st down at the 2. It's the 12th play of this Georgia Tech drive. Trying to even things up here late in the 1st quarter. Nesbitt to throw. Quick slant behind Thomas. And broken up by Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, they had single coverage. They had everything they wanted. They just are not that adept at throwing the football and throwing slant routes.
So Scott Blair comes out to try a field goal. Georgia Tech disappointed that they couldn't get 7, but they'll try 3, and this should be a chip shot for Blair, who's 11 out of 18 on the season. Here's a guy trying to replace the all-ACC kicker from last year, Travis Bell, and the Ray Guide Award winner, Durant Brooks. Hadn't been easy. The kick on the way, and a 24-yard field goal by Scott Blair is good. Closes the gap. LSU still leads Georgia Tech 7-3. Georgia Tech scoring drive, the longest in duration and the longest in number of plays, and they still only got 3 out of the deal. They've had so many big plays, though, of 20 yards or more on the season. That's why.
And they've thrown 6 passes, which they haven't thrown 6 passes in some ball games.
Right.
They've more passing yards than LSU at this point. I don't think that's going to stand up there.
I doubt it. Scott Blair, his first kickoff went out of bounds. His last kick was true from 24 yards for the field goal. Look out for that little guy back there that you just saw, number 8, Trendon Holiday. Because if he gets a crease, there ain't nobody going to catch him. He's pretty fast. He is track star fast. So Georgia Tech to kick. Blair keeps this one in play and hits it deep to the 1-yard line. To Brooks.
And Brooks pops it out to about the 24-yard line. That's where LSU will go to work. There we've got a who am I for you. I was drafted 5th overall in last April's NFL draft, 2 places behind Matt Ryan, who plays in this building with the Falcons. Who am I? Well, the LSU fans know that's an easy one. That would be All-American defensive tackle Glenn Dorsey. And a lot of people in this city thought the Falcons should have taken him in the draft instead of Matt Ryan.
I bet they're hiding right now.
You can't find most of them anymore.
Nobody admit that.
Matt, the Rookie of the Year in the NFL. We congratulate him. Here's a slip screen thrown to Bird. And picked up a couple maybe. And he looks like he's shaken up a little bit.
He wants to come out.
Demetrius Bird, guy that has 4 touchdown catches on the year. That was his 35th grab of the season. So they could run out of wide receivers, although number 1, their main man, Brandon LaFell, who tripped up in those warm-ups, if you missed it earlier, appears to be okay. Holiday comes out now to take the spot of Bird, the little guy to the bottom of your screen. On 2nd down and 8. Here's the throw. Nice catch by the tight end Dixon. Going to be short of the first down, though.
At one point in time during the season, Brad, this Georgia Tech defense led the nation in takeaways. They had a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, they don't have one so far. Good game, though. Bruin in Atlanta. End of 1. LSU from the SEC leading Georgia Tech in the ACC 7-3. As we start the second quarter of the Chick-fil-A Bowl at LSU with a lead 7-3 and a 3rd down situation. 3rd down and 3. Holiday in the backfield with Jefferson. Jefferson takes a back step and Michael Johnson jumps across the line. Penalty markers on the play.
Offside. Defense. 93. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Oh boy, those are the kind that drive you crazy if you're a coach. As Michael Johnson trying to get a head start, Paul Johnson giving the linesman the business. Not crazy about the call. Johnson's already got 1 sack in the ball game, so it's an automatic first down for LSU. They'll work their own 36-yard line. Here's Jefferson, got it out. Oh, nice hit. And it was Tony Clark, who's kind of a hybrid between a linebacker and a strong safety, who made the play on the LSU wide receiver.
He may be a hybrid, but I'll tell you, he looked like a racehorse. Watch him read this. You talk about perfect timing. As soon as the ball gets there, so does Tony Clark.
Got a roughing the passer penalty. So back-to-back mistakes in the penalty area for Georgia Tech, and that kills him and moves it out for a first down. This time from the backside, and the hit came from Derek Morgan.
Derek, close call there.
He's the young guy in that front 4 for Georgia Tech. So now, instead of being 3rd down or 4th down a few plays ago, it's first down LSU at the Georgia Tech 49.
It's 2 first downs that they've given them.
Yep. Here's a counter to Scott. Tony Clark makes the tackle as we check in with Reese Davis. Here's 2nd down and 9. LSU with the lead in the opening minute here of the second quarter. Jefferson in trouble, got away, throws on the run, and a nice throw complete. Richard Dixon, that's Dixon's 3rd catch.
That's what you got to love about a quarterback like Jordan Jefferson, that can get out of trouble, can buy you extra time. Everybody was covered. They had a free blitzer coming up. He bought some time by scrambling to the outside and making a completion out of the whole mess.
Jefferson, perfect so far. 7 for 7. 3rd down and 2. 2 tight ends set this time for the Tigers. Dixon comes over and shifts, sets up on the right. Scott straight up the middle, and he's got the first down. Just a bruiser as he gets to the 36-yard line. And here on New Year's Eve, Bob and I will be taking your dinner reservation shortly. Look good, partner.
You got a little party to go through tonight?
We'll find one. We'll find one. It's a party for LSU right now because those 2 gifts they got from Georgia Tech.
Anytime, I felt like anytime as an offensive player that the defense would help you down the field, you'll take it and say, well, it's our obligation now to score,
right,
since they're helping us down there.
They've got a first down at the Georgia Tech 36. Jefferson again with the play fake, and the throw on the run is a beauty. A strike to Brandon LaFell. And boy, he put some steam on that one. 20-yard pickup. Jack?
The steam has been the problem. DJ McCarthy's the wide receivers coach, and he told me before the game the extra practices are what they needed because Johnson throws such a hot ball. The wide receivers had to get used to it, Grease.
Yeah, he had smoke on that baby. This time he lost the ball. Scott down the sideline, and it's first and goal.
Right out to Scott.
Whoa.
Excuse me, he didn't lose the ball. What? You got to see this. This is a throw. You talk about a guy that's heads up. Jefferson is a true freshman, but you got to watch what he does here. You talk about being aware of downfield and what's happening. Watch him when he comes out to the outside. As he comes out here, he knows he's got hit. Look at his left hand.
He threw it with his left hand. That's why we thought it was a fumble.
I know. And then I would tell you, Ness, it was absolutely beautiful watching this kid.
Wow. That was special. First and goal at the 4. Dixon in motion. LSU trying to score their second touchdown. Charles Scott does. He's in. For Scott, number 17 on the year. This one from 4 yards out. Well, that drive buoyed by a couple of huge penalties against Georgia Tech, and then a sensational left-handed throw by the freshman to get him close. LSU not looking like a 7-5 team, are they? Charles Scott follows his fullback, plows his way in. Second touchdown of the night. You know, every week, over 40 people on our crew convene to put our show together for you, and we just want to wish all of them a Happy New Year. There's where we all come from. 22 states. We get together every Thursday, and boom, right now we're on New Year's Eve in Atlanta. And boy, the crew we have does a sensational job. Thanks to everybody. Jay, looking good. There we go. Andy. Oh, Andy's got his Oregon cap on. Everybody's got something. There's Mikey. He's a Tennessee guy. Right. We got him from all over the place.
Yeah, but Atlanta is one of the easier spots to get to and get out of.
It is for me.
It's a drive for you.
Uh-oh. Onside kick. Who got it? We said both coaches like to gamble. LSU's got the football. They're still pulling bodies, but the back judge has already signaled Tiger ball. Stephen Francois thinks he's a guy that came out of the pile, and he was.
This all begins in the film room when you see this might work, and then you got to execute it. 10 yards, it has to go 10 yards.
Perfect.
The kicker gets it.
Oh, kicker got it right in the face, but Francois got the ricochet.
The kicker's not used to picking up the ball, and they almost killed him.
That's just good planning and scheming by Les Miles and his crew.
They're reviewing it to see if it went far enough. I think it went about 13, didn't it?
Watch the two guys right in the middle for Georgia Tech.
There's just the drag kick, and it's almost already at the 10. That went about 13 yards.
Those two guys from Georgia Tech didn't move. They just didn't come forward to get the ball.
Troy Garside's going to make the hit on the kicker. So official review underway. That's a guy that says, I'll take one for the team right in the chops. But they're going to have a first down with a 14-3 lead. And they're going to have the football in good field position again at the 45-yard line. Annual SEC Big Ten battle continues tomorrow. Capital One Bowl. A couple of the top running backs in the country get together. Georgia takes on Michigan State. Can Georgia keep a 6-0 record against the Big Ten in bowl games alive in Orlando? We'll find out 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow on ABC. Well, we're not hearing Jerry McGinn's referee mic, but the play on the field stands as we expected it to be in an onside kick recovery.
Well, he better chew all the gum he can tonight, because tomorrow they just wrapped him in the jaw. He's not going to be able to chew tobacco or anything tomorrow.
You know, Bob, the way Jefferson's been playing, when you have a play like this, he's been perfect so far. Do you let him go deep?
For sure. This is a great chance to go downtown.
Well, he's got an empty backfield, so they might do a double pass. That's what they wanted to do, and it might blow up on him. So Georgia Tech did a nice job defensively there. And Georgia Tech saying that they've got the football, but the double pass was thrown into the dirt, or into the field turf in this case.
Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator for the LSU Tigers. That was a backward pass. Georgia Tech had it covered very well, so he just threw it. He did a pretty nice job of just getting rid of it.
Definitely did that.
Well, Paul Johnson was on the field. He thought that the pass should have been called. You know, there was no receiver down there.
Now Jefferson on the option, and the pitch to Keelan Williams trying to get to the corner. And again, Morgan Burnett makes the play out there defensively along with Dominique Reese. Those two push him out of bounds. Time right now with 11:52 in the half for our trivia question. Our last one of the year. Gartrell Johnson of Colorado State rushed for 285 yards in the New Mexico Bowl the other day, the second most ever in a bowl game. Who rushed for more? I think that one over.
Yeah. It's a critical time right now for Georgia Tech. There was like a turnover. Now they got to stop him and get the ball back.
They've made back-to-back good plays defensively. Here's Jefferson going deep. He's got a man out there. Caught by LaFell.
Dropped.
Up. He trapped it.
Yeah. Poor throw. That was one Jefferson just didn't get out. He tried to throw it on a line instead of just getting it up in the air and just throwing it across the field where he could run to it.
That's kind of the one we expected a couple of plays ago, going for the home run, and Brandon LaFell had about 2 steps on the Georgia Tech defense back there. But Georgia Tech's defense holds, so Brady Dalfrey will have to kick. Andrew Smith waits at about the 15 for Georgia Tech. And he's got to hustle to get to this one, and he takes it on the fly, and the ball is out.
I think LSU got it.
Ron Brooks has covered it for LSU. I mentioned Georgia Tech has had all kinds of trouble with their punt return teams this year, and it failed them one more time.
There was absolutely no reason to try to catch this ball. You've got people coming down, breathing down your neck, and you're running at the ball. Watch this. Why are you even thinking about catching the football? You got too many people around you.
Boy,
Andrew Smith shouldn't have.
Should have done a fair catch if he was going to try and call for it, where the guy wouldn't hit him.
Patrick Peterson, the guy that made the hit. Ron Brooks recovers the fumble. And Les Miles, Tigers are back in the red zone again. Already leading 14-3.
Yeah, Georgia Tech is just trying to help LSU in this game. This is like the second turnover in the last minute and a half.
The Tigers getting a second Christmas right now from Georgia Tech. 2 tight end set. First down at the 19. Long handoff to Scott. Nice open field tackle. Guess who? Morgan Burnett from the secondary.
Now, Grease, what Georgia Tech's doing on defense, they have actually, while now they're taking the defensive lineman out. They had 4 defensive linemen, and then they were using Michael Johnson, who was supposedly a defensive end at linebacker. So that gives him a chance to pass rush. That's why it's very difficult for LSU to try to run up the middle on these guys.
So second down and 10. Holiday in the backfield, the little guy with Jefferson. He gets a call, and the counter is Jefferson going the other way. Nice play fake by Jefferson, had me, and he goes out of bounds near the 10. So they're doing a little bit of everything. You mentioned Gary Croton mixing it up very well.
That's what the old zone reads. Right here, he's whether or not to give it to him. He sees this big gaping hole over here. We mentioned there were 3 quarterbacks that have played. Andrew Hatch started the first 3 games. Jarrett Lee the next 8. Both of those guys were injured. And Jordan Jefferson started the last game against Arkansas, and gets the start here tonight.
Now it's 3rd and short. Scott puts his head down into a swarm of Yellow Jackets, but he's got the first down. And boy, this will really take.
Yeah, this is a big.
This will take the heart away from Georgia Tech a little bit, unless they buckle down.
Big series. First, the onside kick that worked for LSU, and then the fumble on the punt gave them back great field position. It's Georgia Tech can't afford to be giving away these kinds of gifts. Christmas is gone.
Yep. 1st and goal at the 7. Scott looking for his 3rd touchdown of the night, and he's down to about the 2. Mario Butler made the tackle. He is a hard guy to bring down. This is a guy that a year ago was basically 3rd string, and they were going, well, where are we going to find a tailback? Well, they got one.
Well, just take a look at the size of this guy.
There's the single season rushing touchdown mark, and he's only 2 away from that, with 2 already in the hopper tonight. They load up on the offensive line. 2nd and goal, LSU. Scott again. This time Georgia Tech stiffens. He got to the 1. Kyle Jackson, the linebacker, helped on the stop. Let's check in with Pablo.
I tell you what, I sit there and I look at this Georgia Tech defense. I think they're really doing a heck of a job. And I agree with you, Grease. You just can't keep giving the ball back to LSU. They're too big in the offensive line. Just take a look at the backfield. They got over 500 pounds just in the running back.
I think Les Miles would take 2 cracks from right here. 3rd and goal at the 1. Scott, 2nd man through. Again, nobody touched him. 3rd touchdown of the night for number 32. LSU taking advantage of everything. Everything given to them, every opportunity that they've made on their own, and they score again and are an extra point away from 21-3. The extra point is up and good. Well, Les Miles talked with us about number 32 and how effective he can be. I'd say 3 touchdowns is pretty effective.
He's a motivated runner. I think he looks and anticipates the cut, and I think that you have to tackle him. He runs hard.
Monday night, LSU took a team trip to visit the Georgia Aquarium, the world's largest aquarium. Over 8 million gallons of water, more animals than any other aquarium. Look out for that sand shark. He'll bite you. Look out. They always got to try that, don't they?
Yeah.
Well,
I got to get over there one day.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Come to Atlanta.
Everything LSU has tried in this football game has worked. Last time, they had an onside kick. So, in essence, they've had 17 plays from scrimmage. Georgia Tech's offense hasn't been on the field in a half an hour of real time.
Wow.
If you look at your watch. Marcus Wright will not bring this out, as Georgia Tech will have to work from the 20-yard line. We check in with Reese Davis. Reese. Good for Coach Johnson. Well done.
Yep. Had a good year.
Georgia Tech. Well, let's see if they can work the kinks out of their offense after a half an hour off. Nesbitt. He's in trouble, and he's going to lose 3 or 4. Let's check in with Jack.
Brett, an 18-point margin can really deflate a team, and if you look over my shoulder, that's exactly what has happened here on the Georgia Tech sideline. Paul Johnson has been trying to work with his offense and his defense, not about technique, almost like Dr. Phil, trying to tell him, stay focused, stay patient.
Yeah. Well, we got a guy down for LSU. It was Charles Alexander. Remember, he was the guy that got chop blocked earlier in the ball game, and he just took a knee again. So the trainers are going to come out and have a look at him. The big guy, 310-pound senior. We'll see if he returns. Second down and 13 for Georgia Tech now. Nesbitt, the pitch to Jonathan Dwyer. Dwyer broke one tackle, puts a stiff arm out there, and he got to about the 22-yard line.
Ness, this isn't like that Georgia Tech had just, okay, line up and now let's start throwing the football. That isn't their offense. Their offense is all predicated under, that option stuff. So you can't just line the quarterback up back in the backfield and have him throw the ball downfield. They just don't have a whole lot of plays that are designed to do that. They have to stay in their option offense.
Well, they're not afraid to run on 3rd and long. That doesn't bother them. I think Dwyer might have been a little bothered by the end of that tackle. I think his leg got caught under him in kind of a weird fashion. Here's a one-hopper intended out in the flat and incomplete. And Georgia Tech's going to face a 4th down. 4th down and 8. Well, earlier we asked you our final trivia question of the year, and it was Gartrell Johnson of Colorado State went 285 in the New Mexico Bowl. That was 2nd most ever. Who rushed for more? How about P.J. Daniels of Georgia Tech in the Rhodes Humanitarian Bowl? P.J. had a big old game in that one. 307 yards for Georgia Tech, the greatest single rushing game in bowl history. Now our duck can go back and just relax for a while.
Yeah.
Been a busy duck. Here's the snap to the up man on a fake punt, and it's not going to work. Derek Morgan is dropped, and LSU takes over. So Georgia Tech deep in their own territory. They try a little trickery on the special teams, and it backfired.
The thing about this one is amazing. Derek Morgan's a defensive end, and they put him back there and let him run with the football. I mean, you talk about a lot of confidence in a guy, but that's a long way that they had to travel. Take a look at it. Derek looked pretty good.
Ron Brooks looked even better with that open field tackle.
Yeah, credit LSU. They were expecting something, even when Georgia Tech was backed up inside their 20.
So now another golden opportunity handed to LSU, and you can see the disgust on the face of Paul Johnson. At the Tech 24, Jefferson throws on the run again and throws a strike again. The big fullback Quinn Johnson, and Johnson might have a 1st down, very close to it.
Johnson's been leading Scott into the end zone on a couple of them.
Tell you what, he's comfortable on the move to the right, isn't he, Bob?
Outside the pocket where you don't have to read anything. Scramble him to the right. He's got plenty of time. He's a true freshman. We're going to have time to work with him in the offseason, reading coverages, rolling to your left. I tell you what, that last pitch, when he did it with his little left hand, tells me he's very comfortable in his skin tonight.
He has put it on the skin of 7 different wide receivers, or 7 different receivers, I should say, tonight as well. 2nd and short, Murphy slipped in the hole, and he lost yardage, and a flag flies in on the play. It's going to be holding against LSU.
It'll be against Brett Helms, number 74, the center. He came out and held.
One of the very few things that have gone wrong tonight for LSU.
Well, you'll see Brett Helms. Now, here's the center. He's coming out. He's blocking first, and then he just running this guy down the line of scrimmage. But he's got him by the jersey, and that's what they call.
That's Vance Walker that he was holding. Big 293-pound captain of the defense. So now 2nd down and 11. And again, Jefferson goes back into the shotgun. Plenty of time. Throws. Got his man. Touchdown. Richard Dixon.
We're seeing a quarterback grow up right in front of your eyes. Dixon's over here. He's going to just come and cross. But watch how long Jefferson waits. He looks to the left, wants to throw it now. All right, he breaks down, regathers himself, finds Dixon. Great throw.
Extra point is up and good. Everybody in the act for LSU offensively. And as Bob said, the maturation process is going pretty smoothly at the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta. Dixon, the touchdown. LSU running it up here in the first half. Well, Mr. Cool right there. Jordan Jefferson. Touchdown pass to Richard Dixon. We get another look, Grease.
Let's do the sky cam right here. Watch what the quarterback see now. He's looking out top right of your screen. Finds him. Knows he's got plenty of time to throw it.
10th career touchdown catch for Dixon, his 5th this year. LSU has scored 21 points in the last 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Georgia Tech with a couple of big penalties, then a fumbled punt. They have given some gifts away. And I don't mean bowl gifts. I mean touchdown gifts. This one lands and does go into the end zone. Roddy Jones will take a knee. Georgia Tech will work from the 20-yard line. This is our final broadcast of the year for our crew, and we decided let's pick out our offensive play of the year instead of just of the week. And here it is. Michael Crabtree with 2 guys on him with a second to go. Texas Tech beats Texas. Had that not happened, the Longhorns might be in the national championship.
Exactly. If they would have tackled him inbounds, Texas would have won that ball game. I was surprised that Texas Tech went for a touchdown because they could have kicked a field goal and tied a field goal or tried to get him out of bounds.
Stephen Francois is the guy that's down with 5:21 remaining in the half.
Let's give him we're going to plug some stuff. Let's give him a little shot.
All right. Yeah, they're going to help Francois off the field. Georgia Tech's got to start at its own 20-yard line for the 3rd straight time. Here we mentioned 10 career touchdowns, tying for most in school history by a tight end. And he's caught 4 balls tonight, including the last one for the score.
And he's just a junior. He'll be back.
So he'll get his record by himself probably. Might even do it before the night's over, the way things are going for the Tigers. Nesbitt will keep this. Josh Nesbitt, nice run, got about 8 yards. Petrera, the middle linebacker, made the stop.
That's one of the things that Georgia Tech really needs to do. You know, you take a look at this game, and they're really getting beat 28-3. But they've got to take a drive down and score a touchdown with the offense that they know best, and not really get too concerned. You got a whole second half to play, but in this last 5 minutes of the half, they've got to score a touchdown.
I hate to say it, but McGuire's right.
Yep.
I mean, they got to do what they do best, and that is stay with your running game.
Yep, that one didn't go anywhere. Dwyer, no gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. Down to 4:35 remaining. Georgia Tech has all its timeouts remaining, but they got to pick up the 1st down here before they worry about anything else. Reese and Lou and Mark and the guys will have the halftime report coming up in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds. All the scores and highlights, look ahead to all the games Capital One Bowl week we'll provide you with in the next couple of days. 3rd down and a long one. Georgia Tech 5th in the conference on their 3rd down conversions. They need one badly. Luke Cox will take the pitch, and he's hitting the backfield, and he's going nowhere. That play was made by Alem.
Yes.
Raheem Alem came flying in there, and he just busted up everything.
He did. This is a kid that came in with eight sacks, didn't start a game this year, but made all conference defensive end.
That's pretty hard to do. Watch this play, though. He just blows it up.
Just blows across the defense. The offensive tackle, that's Barrick. He just blows into him. You know, this starting off the year, this defensive line for LSU was one of the best and deepest in the country.
Scott Blair to kick. Holiday runs up on it at the 40-yard line. Trendon Holiday straight ahead. Woof. Man, he's quick. LSU, great field position again with 3 minutes and change remaining and a big lead here in the first half in Atlanta. Paul Johnson huddled inside his offense, gave him an earful, and then just walked out of there. Paul, you were close enough to hear some of that, I think.
Well, most of it you don't want to ever repeat to anybody, but I think they got the message. You may see a little bit of difference in the offense.
Keelan Williams, he jumps into the hole, and he's off to the races. In there for Scott, and he rips off a 17-yard romp into the Georgia Tech secondary. It just doesn't matter who's in there right now. LSU's running roughshod on the Georgia Tech defense.
There's that big Herm Johnson, number 79. Williams does a nice job of finding his way through.
There's the rushing yards. Georgia Tech the edge, but Charles Scott already 3 touchdowns on the ground to tie a bowl record. Jefferson, a run all the way. Oh, man. Hats are flying.
That was Jefferson's hat.
Oh, boy. Michael Johnson laying the wood. Let's check in with Reese. All right, Reese, here it is, as you said, all LSU. 2:16 remaining in the half, and a timeout taken by the Tigers. They've got a 2nd down and 11, and they're restrapping that helmet after Michael Johnson knocked it off of Jefferson's head. Well, all year long, I think if you've joined our crew, we've had Performers of the Week. We decided to do our Performers of the Year. Jack, you're up.
Well, I got to go with Myron Rolle of Florida State, not because of what he accomplished as a safety, but what he accomplished in the classroom. He is now a Rhodes Scholar and headed to Oxford.
Congratulations to him. Pablo?
Well, Graham, you know, after we watched that performance last week, he should have been up for the Ray Guy Award also.
Well, a punter loving a punter. Bob Greasy?
Dolphins went from 1-15 to in the playoffs. Tony Sperano should be the coach of the year.
And the Atlanta Falcons, who were 4-12, and it was a disastrous season when their coach even took off out of town. To Thomas Dimitroff and Mike Smith and Matt Ryan and Michael Turner and the Falcons who play in this building. What a turnaround for them. Those are our Performers of the Year.
Happy for Arthur Blank. Huh?
Yep, absolutely. 2nd down and 11. Jefferson in the pocket, scrambles out of trouble. On the run. Got it down to about the 18-yard line. Brad Jefferson, the linebacker, finally tracked him down. There's Michael Johnson, the guy that made the play previously. And he should be quite a pro player. He's never quite grown into his height, if you ask me. He's about 260 maybe. And he's got to eat a lot to stay on that 6'7" frame. But there's a possibility he might be even able to play some outside linebacker at the professional level. He's done a little bit of outside linebacker, as Paul mentioned earlier tonight.
He was a tight end in high school.
Yep.
Played some defense, outside linebacker.
3rd down and 2, LSU in the red zone again with a big lead. Williams straight ahead. He's gone. A 17-yard touchdown for Williams. And that was like a knife through butter right there.
Well, that's what you saw was a whole bunch of Georgia Tech defensive linemen, linebackers, and a defensive backfield. Just sacrificed their body. They just went in, didn't even know where the ball carrier was. They just threw themselves into a hole that wasn't where now the running back goes back to the outside a little bit, and there's nobody there.
Colt David, already the leading scorer in LSU history, and he's having a field game as a kicker. Just asked to kick the extra points. 42 yards in 4 plays in another minute 45, and the guy taking over for Charles Scott, who's already got 3 touchdowns, jumps in the hole, turns on the speed, and says goodbye
the
from 17.
Offensive line, the offensive line is just manhandling. Helms in the center of this. Watch Helms' block, number 74. He's on the ground. A huge hole right up the middle. The strength of Georgia Tech defensively is their defensive line. It gets smaller and smaller as you go back to the linebackers and DBs. Les Miles getting this team back after losing his last 2 games of the year and 3 of their last 4.
Tying Ole Miss for a Chick-fil-A Bowl record for most points in a quarter. And it has been an explosion. They led 7-0, and then Georgia Tech went down and got a field goal 7-3, and it's all LSU ever since.
Tell Les Miles to leave it alone. He's up 35-3. I mean, just keep quiet and have a good time over there.
With Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, and Jack Arute, I'm Brad Nessler. from the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome, and it's been all LSU, even though Georgia Tech over the years has won the battle. They are losing this one big time. Roddy Jones, couple yards deep, will bring it out. And he's hit before he could get to the 15-yard line. Falls forward to about the 15. And 1:21 all that remains in the half as we check in with Jackaroo. Jack.
Guys, what I like to do is I ask the coaches about a key moment of the year, and for LSU, their key moment, well, they had to stretch it way back. They had to go back to September in the 20th with less than 2 minutes left. Jarrett Lee to Brandon LaFell, and that was the difference maker. A 26-21 victory over Auburn. I think now the key moment may be the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
I don't think there's any doubt about that right now. Nesbitt wants to throw a screen pass to Dwyer. Jonathan Dwyer, head of steam, hurdles his way out to a first down pickup of about 12 to the 27. It was almost a mocking cheer for Georgia Tech there. That one of the bigger plays they've had on the night. They're lining up without a huddle. First down for Georgia Tech since there was 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. It's been a dry spell. Nesbitt again. Throws high, but going to be out of bounds. Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah, he was open. He should have had him, but Nesbitt just is not a great passing quarterback. He's a pretty good triple option quarterback. Talking to Paul Johnson before the game, he's got 3 quarterbacks coming in.
Yep.
He's recruiting 3 guys. I said, how many overall people you could bring? He said, I'm bringing in about 23. He's only got about 11 or 12 seniors, so they're actually below the 85 scholarship limit. So they'll be back up to 85 next year. But
that was Jabo Shaw, the true freshman that you just saw standing on the sideline. He's seen quite a bit of action this year. Not in this game so far. Nesbitt throwing under duress, and he got it to Thomas. And that's a first down. Now, wait a minute. I'm not sure about the spot. I might have jumped the gun there.
No, they gave it to him.
Okay, they moved the sticks.
Yeah.
And Georgia Tech's going to take a timeout. Paul Johnson's halfway out to the hash mark, where he's going to meet his group. Paul Johnson, just his first season at Georgia Tech. Georgia playing tomorrow, and they'll take on Michigan State. You'll see it on ABC. So Georgia Tech trying to put something together in the final minute of a lopsided first half in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Nesbitt, here comes the heat, middle screen to Dwyer. Dwyer out to midfield, and another first down at the 48-yard line of LSU. Pick up a 14 more.
Clock will stop. Move the chains. Referee is already marking it ready for play.
And LSU comes firing into the backfield of Georgia Tech. Raheem Allen.
Paul McGuire looks awful good today. Tonight I just want to know.
Better
Paul,
than usual.
What are you doing after the game, and where are you going since you're all dressed up?
Let me explain something. First of all, I'm not going to be your date. Okay?
You got that right.
If we can ever get back to the hotel, I'm going to go to bed, catch a flight, and go home.
All dressed up, no place to go.
Well, you got that baby right.
Here's Nesbitt. Pressured. Gets away from one. And he's going to just get rid of this thing.
Outside the pocket, you can throw it away.
Tyson Jackson was bringing some heat.
Yeah, did you guys, you looked at the cart here. Our camera guy, Jay, Billy, the driver, they're all in tuxedos, guys.
No, they are not.
Come on. Hey.
We already saw Jay Cox. I know Jay's got a
Got to be in
on.
tuxedo to drive you on the cart?
I told the guys, I said, listen, if you want to be out here with me tonight, I'm going to be really looking good.
There's Jay. He's styling.
And then down below, the guy that's driving this rig.
There's Billy Constable, Cartman, affectionately known as Cart Boy.
That vest he has on is questionable.
Looking awful good.
Yeah, that's nice. You guys look good.
Third
down. Nesbitt going to heave it deep. 2 guys in the vicinity, and it is picked off. Chris Hawkins.
Yeah, great play by Hawkins.
First turnover.
Yeah, that's just a good athlete going and beating the other athletes on the field. LSU's athletes are better, than Georgia Tech's athletes, and it's showing up here tonight.
Well, actually, the second turnover, first interception, I should say.
If Hawkins would have been a receiver, you would say he outran the ball. Just watch Hawkins close on this ball. He's got it in his sights the whole way. What a great interception.
Yeah.
So now LSU, you would think, would be more than happy to just take a knee and head to the locker room with a 32-point halftime lead.
LSU has run 33 total plays, 24 of which have been in Georgia Tech's end of the field.
Jefferson takes a knee. Well, is it an insurmountable lead for the home team? We've got 2 quarters to find out. Let's check in with Jack.
Coach, 28 unanswered points. What do you do in the second half?
Well, we got to just come out and play a little better. We killed ourselves with special teams. You know, early on, the first 2 series, we moved the ball. I think we had the ball 5 times in the half. The special teams killed us, field position, and we can't get them off the field.
Do you have to change anything, or do you just stay with what got you here?
We've got to try to play. I mean, hopefully we're not going to stay with what got us here, but we've got to do a better job of what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Coach.
Paul Johnson looking for his 10th win. Certainly not what he expected in the first half. As we head to Reese Davis, Lou Holtz, and Mark May. Fellas, time for you in the halftime report.
All right, Brad, while most of America sits around waiting on a ball to drop, it turns out that the anvil has already fallen and it smashed Georgia Tech right on top of the head in Atlanta. The Yellow Jackets have been exterminated by a great big bunch of purple and gold Orkin men who came in and sprayed them, and they're done. Last 6 quarters, LSU in this bowl game under Les Miles, they've outscored their opponents 75-6. Remember, they beat Miami 40-3 in this bowl game in 05.
Well, they like this area, they like this bowl game, and they like playing in this dome. But I think the bottom line, you look at the maturity of quarterback Jefferson Jordan with the extra practice time. It's evident that he's really grown up in this system at LSU. He doesn't have to worry about Andrew Hatch or Jarrett Lee looking over his shoulders. He is a true playmaker. In his first half, he was 11 for 12, 121 yards and a touchdown, and rushed for 22 yards. But he orchestrated this offense to perfection. And here he gets a little lucky on that pitch out to Charles Scott, but still he got the job done and he made plays when they had to be made.
We didn't give you folks a couple of statistics before the game. LSU had beaten the ACC 17 straight times coming in here. LSU was 4-0 in the Peach Bowl, never lost. Georgia Tech was 0-3 in the Peach Bowl, never won. It's amazing how statistics sort of come true.
New Year's Rocky Eve. Well, in the words of Les the Hat Miles, LSU's up by 32, and have a great day.
How about a great year?
If there's any good news, I guess, Georgia Tech gets the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. Josh Jasper, who had a successful onside kick earlier in the ball game, set to kick away. And it's deep to Marcus Wright, a yard in, and he'll bring it out. Marcus, man, did he take a shot as he got to about the 19-yard line. Ace Boyle got down there on the special teams to make the stop. As we welcome you back in the booth, Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Jack Arute down on the field. This is something Georgia Tech didn't quite sign up for, partner, I don't think.
You know, I was thinking, have I ever been in this situation? Well, way back in my early days with the Dolphins when they were just a fledgling franchise. All you can do is come out and each drive go down the field and score. That's all you can do. You just one at a time.
I think Paul said that pretty well to Jack going to the locker room. We just got to come out and play a little better.
Yeah.
Get something going. Here's the pitch to the trailer. Roddy Jones, and Roddy Jones got about 4 as we check in on the cart with Paul McGuire.
Well, that's the thing about it is, you know, they just can't go away from what they do best. I mean, this is running the football. We'll play action passes, run maybe a few more screens, buy a hat like I have. Happy New Year to everybody. This is a beautiful hat now. This is a beautiful thing.
That looks like most of the kids that were in our hotel this week. Same kind of look.
I'm going to wear this back to the hotel to see if I can get back in.
2nd down and 6 for Georgia Tech. Straight up the middle, Jonathan Dwyer, and he's got a 1st down. Let's check in with Jack Arute.
Well, it was a very relaxed LSU locker room until Les Miles got in there. The first thing he told his squad, look, forget about the first half. It's now 0-0. On the way out, I asked the coach to rate his quarterback's performance. He said he's doing, and I quote, really, really good. And then he turned around and he said, wait a minute, he's got to do a heck of a lot better in the second half.
Well, I don't know.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, I don't know. 11 out of 12 to 7 different receivers. I don't know how much better he can do.
Where's Jack's hat?
We got to send him one down. We got some up here.
I got one coming.
Josh Nesbitt, no gain on the play. Well, we mentioned a big second quarter, tied for the most points in Chick-fil-A Bowl history. Well, the biggest comeback, Texas Tech and Minnesota in the Insight Bowl a couple of years ago, trailed 38-7 and won in overtime. So there's always hope.
Yeah, there's always hope.
I think right now the Georgia Tech fans would just be thankful for a couple of touchdowns and their defense to hold, because they've been getting gashed by that LSU offensive line all night long so far. Short gain again by Dwyer, maybe 3. Statistically, in the first half, it helped a lot that Georgia Tech gave so many gifts to LSU, but still they had 214 yards. Did good on third down. They got points off the turnover. Their starting position was great from the opening kick that went out of bounds, and they took over at the 40 and drove 60 yards on their opening possession.
And what did Les Miles tell us yesterday about this triple option? He says you got to stop the dive and the pitch and force the quarterback. Let him get the yards and force him to beat you.
There's a late hit on the play, so Georgia Tech gets a first down out to the 49-yard line. There's that stern jaw that Jack was talking about. He was guy that's never satisfied till the game's over.
He spent a few years up in Michigan with Bo Schembechler.
Yeah, that'll teach you. Georgia Tech, its own 49. Nesbitt runs into Lucas Cox as he drops back to throw. Deep. Thomas, he just overshot him.
And obviously a busted call. Cox thought it was going to be a run. Nesbitt, obviously, it was a pass.
And he had Thomas open and missed him. The Georgia Tech rushing attack that's been so effective all year long wasn't in the first half at all against the LSU defense.
I'd give it back to Jones, Roddy Jones. You know, I got to tell you, we played Georgia one year, and it was 35-0 at halftime. We went in the trailer, and the coach said it's 0-0. I said, did you miss the first half? We're getting beat 35-0. What is it you didn't see?
What was the final in that Fran Tarkenton-led romp? Do you remember?
76-0. Thank you.
Okay. Josh Nesbitt fakes a pitch and keeps it. And he got to the 45. Going to bring up third down at about 4.
This LSU team is going to get better and better. You know, they've got athletes, pawn athletes, just waiting to play. As these guys leave, new guys step up. They lose all their defensive line. The front 4 they're going to lose. They got more guys just waiting to step up. Quarterback situation is getting better and better.
Sure looks stable tonight, doesn't it? Georgia Tech, third down and 4 at the 45. Blitz might be coming. Dwyer hit immediately, wrapped up by Tyson Jackson. That went nowhere.
Well, that's the thing that Les was talking about. We got to stop the dive, the fullback play up the middle, and they've been doing that most of the night.
Well, when they do that, Tyson Jackson, you just watch him just explode. He takes the offensive lineman back to the ball carrier. When that happens, there's no place for Dwyer to go. Take a look at it. I mean, he's just there. Nobody really even blocks him.
So now Georgia Tech forced to gamble. 1 for 2 so far tonight. They're going to have to earn all of this. Nesbitt tips off the hands of Demaryius Thomas, and LSU will take over.
Just not sharp in the passing game.
11:01 remaining third quarter. The problems continue for Paul Johnson.
$100,000 people.
LSU now with Scott back in there. He's already tied a bowl record with 3 rushing touchdowns, all in the first half for Charles. And the first half possessions, he was the end of most of them, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You see down there at the bottom, that's not good when you're at Georgia Tech's 19, 24, and 42-yard line.
That means opponents. The opponent's 19. Yeah, that is great field position if you're an offensive team.
No doubt. They're almost at midfield again. 3 wideouts for Jefferson, who's 11 out of 12 to 7 different receivers, including a touchdown pass to his tight end. They'll keep it on the ground, though. Charles Scott, big opening in the middle for Scott. And he's going to be very close to the first down with the forward progress. Georgia Tech leads him back, but we'll wait and see where they spot it. We asked him what he's thinking about before the snap.
Nothing goes through my mind. I think it's more reacting than thinking. So, I mean, I'm just reading my keys, looking at where my landmarks are and, waiting on the hole to open up.
Tell you where a landmark might be. Herman Johnson, the left the left guard, 6'7", 375. That's like Stone Mountain around here,
It's a good landmark.
That's a good landmark.
Wouldn't you be smiling if you had that line in front of you?
Absolutely.
They got to be laughing every time someone asks me a question.
There's Big Herman, first-team All-American. Jefferson throws, completes. Demetrius Byrd, and Byrd gets to about the 35-yard line. Pickup of 9. Morgan Burnett, who's been a busy safety, makes another tackle, but not before they almost pick up another first down.
Brad, both of these teams have been off for about a month. They played their last game at the end of November. LSU had lost 2 ball games and were really down. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, had won 3 of their last 4, beat Miami, and won at Georgia.
Right.
A huge win against their arch rival. And they come in here flat, Georgia Tech. LSU comes in and just looks like they're world beaters.
Here's Scott, and he's going to beat everybody for the first down and more again. Scott dragging bodies to the 17-yard line, a pickup of 18 more.
Well, what happens here, take a look at Quinn Johnson, number 45, the guy that's in front of him. He's the guy that gets a block, and as soon as that happens, watch Scott is going to go right off his tail. Number 32 is Scott. Quinn is 45. Look at this. Look at this block. Now watch him go inside of this block. There's the hole, and then there's the power.
And if you think Quinn Johnson's a little guy, he's about 263, the fullback. So he's a nice guy to follow.
It's all power. The big offensive line, the big fullback, and the big tailback.
Jefferson, play action. Throws back. Complete to R.J. Jackson. And Jackson's going to lose a yard on that play. Very few lost yardage plays. Morgan Burnett, another tackle. I tell you what, he's a good one. There's going to be a bright future ahead for this young fella. Jefferson, we mentioned, he mixed it up to everybody tonight, it seems, getting everybody in the act. Used several different receivers. He's only been incomplete with 1 throw tonight.
Yeah, I'm impressed. The thing that he does need to work on is throwing from the pocket, reading coverages. Most of the time, he's getting outside the pocket.
Keelan Williams on the pitch. Williams trying to weave his way down near the 10, got maybe to the 11-yard line.
Well, on that last play, Jefferson gets hammered as he comes down. Now, I'm not going to, if I'm going to run an option, it sure wouldn't be against a team like Georgia Tech, who practices against it day after day after day. I think I would try some other plays, like a little direct handoff.
Well, this is where he's been rolling to his right and throwing so effectively in the ball game in these third down situations. He's on the short side of the field, may not have as much room to roll. On the season, perfect in the red zone tonight, 5 for 5. 3rd down and 5. Jefferson going to run with it. Jefferson, the 5 to the goal line.
Stays down at the 1.
Morgan Burnett saved a touchdown, but he's down to about the 1-foot line.
Well, I tell you, I'm sitting right here on the goal line, and the question is now where his knee's down, because take a look at the ball. Forget about everything else right now. Just look at where the ball ends up. He leans, he stretches, the ball's on touching the goal line as opposed to where they put it.
Well, they've got it pretty close, about a foot away. 1st and goal, LSU. Charles Scott could have a bowl record right here on this carry. Not this time. Georgia Tech meets him and drops him for a loss of 1. So Scott actually lost it back to about the 2-yard line. Loss of about 1.5 yards. 2nd down and goal for the Tigers here in the 3rd quarter with a big lead on Georgia Tech and trying to score again. Charles Scott, play action for Jefferson, lost it, and Dixon had one hand on it. He already has a touchdown pass to his tight end tonight and almost had another one. Well, they used their play action grease where they should have on 2nd down.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Now let's see if they just go back to the power. Got an extra lineman, 2 tight ends, 3rd and goal, Tigers. See if he follows his big fullback. It's going to be Jefferson. He'll run it, trying to get to the pylon. He's not there. Kyle Jackson, the outside linebacker. Georgia Tech showing no quit here with LSU down close.
Well, and the whole entire offense wants to stay on the field. They don't, 35-3. They don't want to kick a field goal, and they're not going to.
They bring in another lineman. Les Miles does. I think Les is thinking if we can't put it in 4 cracks from about a foot away, we don't deserve it. And timeout taken. With 5:20 remaining 3rd quarter, we got a 4th and goal for the Tigers when we come back. The Jim Henson's Fantastic World of Traveling exhibit from the Smithsonian and is now the Atlantic History Center. It's a close-up look at the imagination and creative genius of Jim Henson, creator of Kermit the Frog, Big Bird, the Muppets, and more. That was Little Bird and Ernie and all those guys. Grumpy.
How do you know those guys?
He still has all the dolls.
You don't have any grandkids.
I don't want any either. Let's just hold off on that, can we?
Well, we can do something about that.
Yeah, right.
I can talk to some people.
Well, they looked at that last play by Jefferson as he headed for the pylon.
Stands. The runner was out of bounds. 4th down.
And it's 4th down from about the 1-foot line. LSU has held the ball for about 5.5 minutes on this drive, and it's the 11th play of the drive coming up, and you can see the LSU fans are indeed starting the party a little bit early.
Well, and there's no second guessing here. Just give the ball to the big guy, Charles Scott, 32.
See the rookie quarterback? He's trying to get the crowd up.
I don't know. We want to hear what you're doing down there? Well, it's 4th down. LSU. The Chick-fil-A Bowl rushing record for touchdowns is 3. Jefferson's going to try to do it himself, and I don't know.
He didn't get it, Ness. He did not. He did not move. In fact, they didn't move that pile at all.
Brad Jefferson was the guy that made first contact. Georgia Tech is held.
You see, he went left behind big Herman Johnson.
Good play by Brad Jefferson, the linebacker.
Take a look over here on this side.
Georgia Tech got nice penetration. Number 51 is buried under number 79 right there. But there he is holding his ground. Now the bad news is Georgia Tech's at its own 2-foot line.
Well, that's the thing that if LSU says that we don't make it, we leave them right back in their own end zone.
Jonathan Dwyer's lined up about 3 yards in the end zone for the Yellow Jackets. Lucas Cox in motion. Josh Nesbitt's going to try to get him some breathing room, and he does as he got out to the 5-yard line. Well, the ACC with a lot of teams involved with bowls and the Bowl Challenge Cup right now. Pac-10 perfect at 4-0.
Yeah.
The SEC with Vanderbilt's win 1-0 now. The ACC at 3-4 with that Boston College loss. And it looks like it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be SEC 2-0 and ACC 3-5 unless something dramatic happens.
SEC's got 7 games to go.
Yeah, they're just starting their work.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch. Roddy Jones' pitch was a little low and behind him, and LSU took advantage of that and ran him out of bounds for a loss on the play. Let's check in with Jack Arute. Jack, what have you found to do?
Well, you know what? You guys have got a great seat up there in the broadcast booth. McGuire, he's got that cushy seat up there on the Cartboy cart. I have found my own private suite high atop the Georgia Dome. I got a phone. I got a little libation here. Not a problem. I got one thing to say to McGuire. Eat your heart out, pal.
Well, I know now that Jack and I can get in the hotel. We don't know about you, Grease.
Those glasses are beautiful. I love those.
I'm not doing that.
3rd down and long, Georgia Tech. Josh Nesbitt to throw from his own end zone, maybe. And he grounded it in the end zone.
There was a receiver close by.
Well, he was trying to get the ball to Dwyer, and he couldn't. He just couldn't. And he did the smart thing. He just threw it into the ground, and, you know, the people are booing. But he did the smart thing.
And now it's going to be a short field for Scott Blair to try to kick out of deep in that own end zone. He doesn't have the normal amount of yardage that he'd like to have. LSU is going to get great field position out of this. No matter what they do, Derek Bryant and Trendon Holiday are back deep, and they've got the return on.
Yes,
that means Holiday. And here he is from the 40. One man misses. Trendon Holiday to the 21-yard line. He was one guy away from breaking it. Scott Blair, the punter, saved a touchdown.
And this is why Les Miles went for it on 4th down. If he didn't make it, the defense comes in, shuts him down. They get the punt. This is like a continuation of that last drive.
Yeah, it's only 3 plays difference. They just got it back at the 22, ready to go again.
Right.
6.54, 60 meters at the indoor meet, 3rd fastest in the world. And I mean, when he touches the ball, we've seen him on punt returns, but watch him when he's just got his track gear on. He's in the gold. Now watch this other gear all of a sudden. Goodbye. Oh, man. That is crazy.
That'd be scary to be able to run that fast.
You know, he's 5'5". How tall were those other guys he was running against? They look smaller than he did.
Yeah, they weren't that big.
Flags down.
Oh.
As Jefferson got popped again. Right now, it's kind of hard to tell flags from the paper airplanes that are flying from the upper deck, with the exception of the color. We even had one fly in here. I don't know how that took a U-turn.
Yes, how do you like this one? They have a chop block against LSU.
Turnaround is fair play.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or in this case, unfair play.
That's what happens sometimes when a coach on one team will talk to an official about a chop block on the other team. They'll look for him on both sides, and you'll get called for it yourself.
That's a good point. So that backs it up to the 37-yard line. This will be the 9th straight year, barring a major turnaround by Georgia Tech, that LSU has won 8 games or more. Here's a draw play to Scott. And Georgia Tech waiting for him. Georgia Tech playing inspired defensively here. They've been on the field a long time in this ball game, but they're trying to hang in there here in the 3rd quarter. As we take a look at our yellowbook.com future pros, we talked about Big Herm. Good speed, quick feet, and not only that, big feet at 375 pounds, and he's a guard. Michael Johnson, we saw him get a sack on the first series. He has played some linebacker tonight, could do so in the pros. Those are guys that we expect to see playing on Sundays next year for sure.
The big guys now in the pros are playing the guard position, and the smaller guys are playing outside because they got quicker feet and they can block the defensive ends better.
Oh, what a strike that was from Jefferson. The ball came out, though, at the end. Demetrius Byrd had his hands on it, and Rashad Reed ripped it out as we rip it out to Reese Davis. Reese.
KU 42-21.
Well, Minnesota a surprise under Tim Brewster, and Kansas maybe a bit of a disappointment after the sensational year they had last year, but they are playing very well in their bowl game. Jefferson had it come out of his hand. Let's see if this is a fumble or a forward pass. Ball still loose. Georgia Tech scoops it up. They got a man, Cedric Griffin, running the other way. Cedric Griffin's going to score.
Yes, they already waved it off. They call it a forward pass. They said his arm was going forward when he got hit. And he got hit, I think, by Derek Morgan, number 91.
It was Derek Morgan, Paul. Here's another look.
91 coming on the outside is Derek Morgan. Now, is his arm, Jefferson's arm, in motion? Well, I don't know. His arm was in motion after the ball was hit. Old quarterback upstairs.
Yeah, I didn't see that real clearly.
Here's another angle behind Jefferson. Morgan coming with the pressure.
LSU.
And there the ball was hit before he ever.
I don't think the ball was going forward at all. The arm was not coming forward. He did get the ball knocked out.
Whistle might have blown too. Might have been a dead issue from the get-go. We'll be back in a minute. Back at the Chick-fil-A Bowl, LSU maybe getting a gift here to attempt a field goal after that last play that looked to us like the quarterback had fumbled. Career long 53-yard attempt by Colt David. Kick on the way, and he got it.
He was on the field before the game, and he was making them from 60 yards.
Career scoring leader already, just added something else to his resume. Colt David, 53-yard field goal. 38-3 LSU. Now don't forget the Granddaddy Mall coming your way tomorrow on ABC. The Rose Bowl indeed lives here. The Nittany Lions of Penn State taking on the Trojans of USC. 4:30 Eastern time our coverage starts. You'll see Darryl Clark, who had a sensational year for the Nittany Lions, and Mark Sanchez, the big thrower for the Trojans of USC.
You know, when I was at Purdue, they didn't have a lot of bowl games, but the only bowl game we played in was the Rose Bowl, and boy, was that special.
And you did.
It was special. And then it was special about, what was it, about 25 years, 30 years later.
Yep.
When my son Brian went to the Rose Bowl with the University of Michigan.
And won it and was the MVP.
And we covered the game, being up in the booth, calling that game, that Rose Bowl game. You ask me my moments that I'll never forget, winning a Super Bowl and watching my son, broadcasting my son. They were playing for the national championship. They were undefeated. They played Washington State.
Yep. And
a couple special moments for me in the Rose Bowl.
Bet. Here's a kick. Josh Jasper trails Roddy Jones to about the 2. Roddy Jones, some open field. Across the 30, 35, and out to about the 38-yard line. A 36-yard return. Let's head out to Las Vegas. Joe Tessitore. Joe, what do you got? Remember when we showed the guys sticking their hand in the alligator's mouth at the Champ Sports Bowl? There's a second thing I wouldn't do. What those guys are going to do tonight when we're done out in Vegas.
Would you watch it?
Sure, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch late and a loss on the play. Roddy Jones taken down by that LSU defense that's been impressive all night. That's Carnell Hatcher, a freshman, that made the play. Well, this has been all LSU from the opening drive of the ball game. They started at their 40-yard line, took it down, put it in for a touchdown. Georgia Tech answered with a field goal, and since that time, it has been nothing but LSU. Charles Scott has 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. And Chick-fil-A Bowl records. LSU trying to go to 5-0. Georgia Tech can't win one in their hometown in this ball game. Here's a toss to Jones going the other way, and he has stood up again and dropped for a loss. This time Danny McCray.
Let me say this. Whatever LSU has done in this month of preparation to get ready for this spread option offense, I think they ought to go and tell some of the teams in the ACC, because they have stopped this triple option, this spread offense, dead in its tracks.
Well, I think the thing about it is, though, Greason, that LSU, every single guy on the defense has made a play. So it tells me that they're very disciplined. They said stay at home. They'll eventually get back to you. If they come to your side, just don't sacrifice yourself. Make the play, and they're doing that.
It's all assignment football, and their assignments have been well executed tonight. Josh Nesbitt scrambling around trying to find a man, going deep. and caught by Marcus Wright. And a penalty marker back near the line of scrimmage. 46-yard pass play, but it might be coming back.
Holding. Defense. 84. Penalties decline. First down.
Not coming back. Well, that's Georgia Tech's biggest play of the night.
Was holding on Alim, the defensive end. Right there. Yeah, he just held the tight end.
And Josh Nesbitt bought himself some time. And
Nice.
Marcus Wright, the little freshman out of San Antonio, Texas, was the guy on the receiving end.
It's a good job by that head linesman to pick up a defensive end holding on a tight end on a third down pass.
Quarter comes to a close. Georgia Tech finally's got a drive going. The problem is they've only got 15 minutes left to do something about it. LSU at the end of 3 of the Chick-fil-A Bowl, 38-3. Happy New Year's Eve back in Atlanta, 38-3, set to start the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech, with its biggest play of the ball game, has got it down to the LSU 16-yard line. Josh Nesbitt with Jonathan Dwyer behind him. And he's going to keep it, and he's going to get all wrapped up. That might not have been his best choice of the night. Well, our season, we kind of call our group a traveling circus. You can probably see why as we've come through yet another year.
It's
Whoa.
come to this.
Yeah, that's why this says flammable. Why am I blowing these things up? My horn doesn't work, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway,
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. It's been a good one so far for LSU as they have the big lead. Man, those things are dangerous. No wonder it says flammable. Second down. Roddy Jones on the pitch. He wants to throw it. And now he knows he can't, and he's trying to reverse his field. Tyson Jackson giving chase. Now he pulls up again like he wanted to get rid of it. So Roddy Jones trying to throw the football twice and couldn't get it away. Let's check in with Paul.
Hey, what are these things?
I don't know, but watch out.
Oh, that's nice.
Mine didn't do much, actually.
I pulled a string, my head lit up. Is it getting close to 12 o'clock yet?
That's a good look for you, Paul.
It's about 12 minutes after 10, I think. But
nice.
You know, if we don't get around to saying it, guys, our whole crew, we are like a family. We spend more time together than we do with our families for most of this football season. And to everybody that helps put the game together, we thank you. Josh Nesbitt back to throw down the middle. Lucas Cox was the intended receiver. And it's 4th down and 7. There'll be better days, Josh.
There'll be better days. Georgia Tech, so we mentioned, I think they've got, 19 starters back.
Yep.
From the youngest team in the ACC. Paul Johnson came in and with a group of guys that were not really molded to his type of system. 9-3, barely missed out winning the ACC.
Look at all those touchdowns by young guys, as Bob was talking about.
Yep.
Well, this might be their last best chance for a touchdown. And timeout taken. They're well aware of that. We'll see if they can score when we come back. A few minutes ago, the Chick-fil-A Bowl presented by Bowl Chairman Scott McCune and Chick-fil-A Steve Robinson presented the presidents from Georgia Tech and LSU with an endowed scholarship of $100,000 for the school's general scholarship fund, a portion of the $1.2 million in charitable and scholarship donations from the bowl in 2008. We thank all the folks from Chick-fil-A, the Cathy family, and all the rest for a great time here in town. We had hoped for a better football game. So did Georgia Tech. 4th down and 7. They need to get down to the LSU 6-yard line. Nesbitt in trouble. Down he goes. LSU takes over on downs.
Yeah, his offensive linemen are not structured to pass protect, and especially for that long.
And another thing, Grease, if you looked at that thing from up above, you could see every single one of those guys were covered. The 4 down linemen are the guys that rush the passer. The other 7 guys covered. It was beautiful.
Guys, you want to know why or how LSU prepared for this defense? Well, they took a little unconventional approach. What they did is they practiced without a football. So in essence, what the quarterback had a half step on the defense each and every time. I talked to the coaches before the game, and they said it was very, very effective because one thing, as you guys know, it's tough to simulate the speed of this offense that Georgia Tech uses with a scout team.
There you see a happy co-defensive coordinator, Bradley Dale Pavito, who's going to take over as head coach at Northwestern State. And he is fired up for the way his defense has played against Georgia Tech tonight. Here's Jefferson going deep. Got a man wide open. Brandon LaFell. And he's gone. 86 yards. We got a penalty marker down in the LSU backfield.
And the players know, and they're walking back. They're not getting excited for LSU.
Well, Derek Morgan is signaling that he got held.
There was 2 flags on the play. Holding, offense, number 70. Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, number 93. Penalties offset, replay the down.
Michael Johnson with the roughing the passer penalty. And the longest play from scrimmage this year for LSU is wiped out.
How about this? Morgan gets held, number 91, and Johnson hits the quarterback, number 93. Watch this. Here's the hold by Black on the right-hand side.
Takedown.
And then, bam, after the ball is thrown, they throw the flag again. Well, at least they're hitting.
Tell you one thing, Brandon LaFell's ankle's okay on the other end, even though it's all coming back. He was long gone.
And you can't take away the great throw by the quarterback.
No, that was right on the
money.
This
kid is, he's having one of his better days of the year. I'll have to say that.
He might try it again. This time rushed and throws it away as we check in with Reese Davis. Reese. Well, right now, Georgia Tech could take either one of those basketball scores just to try to improve the 3 they're looking at right now. 38-3. Michael Johnson, who's had a sack tonight, also the roughing the passer penalty a moment ago. And LSU's going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. 12:58 to play in the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta. The Centennial Park Ice Skating, Atlanta's only outdoor skating rink, located at Centennial Olympic Park. This holiday tradition celebrating its 10th year anniversary. You can do winter things even if you're in Atlanta. That's only about 3 blocks from us as well here at the Georgia Dome. LSU end around coming from Trendon Holiday. Showing his quickness again. He got 12 yards on the end around. Our crew's defensive play of the year. We talked about the offensive play of the year earlier. Marcus Sims looking like he was going in for a touchdown for Florida State. But Cooper Taylor put his helmet right on the ball, and Rashad Reed, another freshman, recovered it. Georgia Tech hung on in that game we called 31-28. Unfortunately, they could have used a whole bunch more of those kind of plays tonight.
That would have been the winning touchdown in that ball game for Florida State.
Cooper Taylor, one of those young guys, along with Rashad Reed, that'll be a big part of the Georgia Tech defense again next year. Jefferson throws on the run. Again, he throws a strike. Jared Mitchell this time. And he's out to about the 34-yard line. It's been surprising how well LSU has handled Georgia Tech. When you talk about surprises, some good, some bad, Grease.
Well, Alabama surprised everybody. They're 12-1. Michigan 3-9. LSU to this point was a little bit of disappointing. Wisconsin had a bad year. Auburn and Clemson. Clemson came back toward the end, but Penn State was 11-1. Won the Big Ten. How about Brian Kelly at Cincinnati?
Yeah. Clemson, of course, opened the season here in the Georgia Dome against Alabama and got clobbered. And that was the beginning of Alabama going 12-1 and Clemson going south and losing their coach.
Yep.
So a lot of things have happened over the course of the last 17, 18 weeks. Pick up a 7 by Holiday again.
I just can't. I really can't wait to see Holiday get in the open and just someone try to catch him. I mean, he has got so much speed to get to the line of scrimmage. It's unbelievable.
You would have to have the angle of a lifetime to catch him if he ever got out there, I think.
The other thing about it is there's only like every time he's touched the ball so far in this game, it's only like one tackle away from breaking it.
Yep, it's just that close every time. He stays in there as a tailback in the eye behind that big 265-pound fullback. But it's Jefferson, straight drop to throw. Going to load it and fire long. Man out there just over Brandon LaFell's hands.
Does this
that
kid
was
have
close.
a gun or what?
He really does have a big arm, doesn't he? That's the matchup tomorrow on ABC.
Mark D'Antonio and the Michigan Spartans having a great year.
Yep.
Turn that program around.
Here's a little slip screen. Bird didn't slip by Georgia Tech, though, and I hope he didn't get hurt.
He did. I'm going to tell you who hit him was Herman Johnson, the big guard. And you run into him, you just ran into a wall.
Clutching his knee, and boy, that would just be terrible with 10:45 left in a game that's been out of hand for quite some time to lose a guy like that.
It's the last game of the year.
Right.
You don't want to have a serious injury the last game where you have to rehab the whole off season.
All right, look at Bird here, and watch coming down. His blocking is his own man.
Oh.
And he catches his knee right there.
And that's 275 pounds coming into your knee. Well, we'll take a break and hope that things are going to look up when we come back. Now Demetrius Bird helped off by the trainers, limping noticeably on that knee, and hopefully things are going to work out for him and that it won't be something serious. Meanwhile, his teammates got 3rd down and 11. Jefferson blitz coming, throws right through it, got it to LaFell, short of the first down though. It'll be 4th down. LSU with a big lead, 38-3. Take a look at the BCS top 10. Oklahoma and Florida play for all the marbles. And the BCS National Championship game. Texas and Ohio State have got a date. Penn State and USC, as we mentioned, tomorrow in the Granddaddy Mall. You'll see it on ABC. Presented by Citi.
How about Utah there? 12-0.
Well, if Alabama beats Utah, you once again will be correct that there will be nobody undefeated, as you were correct,
but
sir.
If Utah
again,
beats Alabama, how high do they go?
That's a good question there. Brady Dalfrey to punts. Oh, that's going to be a fake. Dalfrey with a left-handed throw. LSU's got a first down. Chad Jones on the reception to pick up a 21.
Yeah, well designed. Because it's kind of safe when you're ahead 38-3. Kind of safe to run something like that.
You hear Paul Johnson going off the field when he's talking to Jack, and he said our special teams are killing us.
Yeah.
Well, they just killed him again. I mean, there was just nobody in the area of Chad Jones, number 3. This is really well designed.
It's almost like a slip screen behind that front wall of blockers. And that was a combination, the noise you heard of LSU fans exulting in another big play, and the Georgia Tech fans going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And now there's a penalty marker thrown in the Georgia Tech secondary. So LSU loses 5 yards, 1st and 15.
Paul Johnson is from a small town up in North Carolina in the mountains, Newland, North Carolina. And every summer he'll play golf with Coach Shula.
Jefferson can scan the field all day, goes deep, and almost picked up by Mario Butler. And we check in with Reese Davis again. Reese. All right, Reese, thanks. 2nd down, 15 for LSU. Snap a little bit wide. Give is to Murphy. And Murphy gets to near the 30-yard line, and another penalty marker down. As you were saying, I'm sure that's a good meeting of minds. You got Don Shula, the winningest NFL coach of all time, and your ACC Coach of the Year that's got some different ideas.
Yeah, of course, Paul Johnson was won a couple of national championships at Georgia Southern.
Mm-hmm.
But those two guys on the golf course talking football. Of course, Shula doesn't know anything about this spread option offense that Paul runs. But I think next summer I'm going to get in that group and play a little golf with them.
71,423. Packed house at the Georgia Dome. A lot of them have headed into the streets of Atlanta. The Georgia Tech fans maybe going to be drowning their sorrows or just going home. The LSU fans are going to have fun in town tonight. Try to middle screen there, and that's blown up by Ben Anderson. And it's 3rd down and 25. Looks like Paul's got help over there again. Sports Center's next. Eat more chicken. There you go.
Hey, man, how you do?
Oop.
You know what? You hit me in the head one more time. You're gonna be a dead cow.
It'll be a hamburger instead of Chick-fil-A.
Come here. Give me 5. Wait a minute. Give me 5.
Sports Center really isn't next, though. We're going out to Las Vegas for all that thrills out there.
Do you know one of these things looks just like Jackaroo?
Jefferson going deep to the goal line. Morgan Burnett almost had another interception, diving for it, and may have shaken himself up a little bit. If there's a guy on this football team that you can't find too many better, it's that guy right there, number 1.
You got that right.
Hey,
you're going to have a hard time getting some of that off that coat.
Is this Happy New Year?
Almost.
Now that's the way I like to see it. What'd you get? Looked like he was bleeding on the head.
Well, the
guy banged me
the cow hit him in the head 4 times with that sign. That could draw blood.
Did it?
I think it did.
No.
Well, they are in punt formation is all I'm going to say for LSU. Pretty sure they're not going to fake this one. Kind of a knuckleball fielded at the 16-yard line by Georgia Tech. 7:43 remaining. Some things work and some things don't. Not working for Georgia Tech tonight. Sort of the story of the game tonight for Georgia Tech. Not good field position all night long. And they work again inside their own 20-yard line. 7:43 remaining in the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta. All LSU tonight. Here's Jonathan Dwyer, and he's all wrapped up by Al Woods after a pickup of about a yard. Paul Johnson was named ACC Coach of the Year. He'd certainly be one of the guys, our picks, as we look at the coaches of the year from our crew's standpoint. Coach Saban at Alabama, Joe Paterno. Everybody says, oh, Joe's too old. Well, he's signed a new contract. Brian Kelly, Bob mentioned him, Mike Leach. You know, you could throw in Mac Brown and Bobby Stoops and Urban Meyer, but those guys kind of expected to have good teams.
They had good teams going in, and they all did great jobs. But these are some guys that I think really did some good coaching.
And still some hitting going on out there at about the 20-yard line. And maybe a pickup of 2. Favorite and Riley are there. The Chick-fil-A Bowl trophy, and it's a beauty, was at the luncheon yesterday. And LSU's going to be taking that baby back to Baton Rouge in about 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
You know, Ness, every time you hear people talk about Joe Paterno, it's always an age thing. I didn't know there was an age limit for coaches. I really didn't.
That's a good point. Les Miles will go to 10-1 following a loss. He hasn't lost that many, but they came off a loss at the end of the regular season. So he'll improve that mark, and he'll also improve to 19-0 in non-conference games. And the job Les has done has been sensational. National championship last year. Chick-fil-A Bowl champions in 6 minutes.
He's going to make some changes to his staff. As you mentioned, Cavato is going to Northwestern State. Doug Mallory, the other co-defensive coordinator, I understand is considering going down with Mike Loxley down in New Mexico. And we hear tales that John Chavis, the old defensive coordinator at Tennessee, might be coming over.
Let's check in with Reese Davis. Yeah, good point, good. Reese. Good luck, Robbie.
Yeah.
Reese has got your back, I can tell you that much. Here's the throw out. Demarius Thomas with a stiff arm, and he goes out for a first down for Georgia Tech, or very close to it. Georgia Tech came in with the number 3 rushing attack in the country at 282 yards on the ground per game, and well, So much for that tonight in the bowl game, because they've been stifled by the LSU defense to the tune of 107.
Well, that Georgia Tech rushing offense was 3rd in the nation. But LSU's defense, rush defense, was 17th in the nation. They only given up 106 yards coming into the ball game.
They're right on their average.
Yeah.
They're going to blow their average right. Here's Jonathan Dwyer on the run. And that shows you why he was the offensive and overall player of the year in the ACC, as he rips off a 39-yarder.
Yeah, but the thing about it is there are very few starters on the field for LSU, and there's a lot of confetti going down with me down the road. But Dwyer, he's just such an outstanding player. And they've been running this play most of the night. This is one of their bread and butter plays. But if you take a look at the defense for LSU, there aren't any starters out there.
You know, Georgia Tech led the nation in plays of 20 yards or more. They had 45 of them during the year. That was best in the nation.
We got one more of those tonight. So Jonathan Dwyer, who says he's going to work as hard as he possibly can to be in the best shape of his life and maybe get Georgia Tech to an ACC championship next year. And Tashard Choice of the Dallas Cowboys is kind of like his mentor, big brother, who had a great season for Georgia Tech last year. But Jonathan Dwyer coming into tonight's came in as the 6th highest rushing total in single season history for Georgia Tech. And as you guys said, he's going to keep getting better. Set a lot of big records at Kell High School out here in Cobb County, not too far from here in high school. Kirsten Pittman makes a stop.
Well,
Under 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah,
in the
every
game.
starter, Brad, on this Georgia Tech offense is back. All 11 of them are back, and the only defensive players that they lose are 3 of their defensive linemen. Everybody else in the on the defense is back. Another year in the system with Johnson.
All that youth. The offensive line is where there were so many problems. They had injuries. Andrew Gardner, who would have been an all-ACC pick, went down. They had to shuffle their offensive line. A lot of guys that had never played in any kind of system even close to this. So the job they've done and the Paul Johnson group has done has been nothing short of sensational. I think if the Yellow Jacket fans at the beginning of the season, somebody said, you know, 9 wins, have the highest BCS ranking of any ACC school, and go to the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Yeah.
They just said, we'll jump on that right now.
Sure.
Right
for
now.
Sure.
Well, you know, we had the conference call with Paul Johnson, and Greasy said, you know, it was a little surprising this year that you were 9-3. And I love what he said. He said, no, not to me at all. I thought we would go 12-0.
Expects to win every game. 4th and short. Nesbitt is going to keep it himself. Ball comes out. Still squirting around. LSU's got it. Well, that's the story of the night for Georgia Tech. That's how it's gone from almost the opening kickoff.
Yeah. Well, fumbling is nothing new for Georgia Tech because of their spread option offense. You're handling the ball a lot. They're 116th in the nation in fumbles. That's their 19th lost fumble of the year.
Well, the LSU fans are happy, as they should be. Quite a long layoff, and you wondered if they could erase those 2 losses at the end of the regular season, and they have. South Carolina and Iowa, don't forget, Outback Bowl tomorrow, New Year's Day, on on ESPN, I beg your pardon, at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. The old ball coach against Kirk Ferentz, Sean Green, and the Iowa Hawkeyes, who were one of the hotter teams in the country near the end of the regular season. And we saw Iowa hand Penn State.
We sure did.
Its only blemish, as we were there in the darkness of Kinnick Stadium. And we considered that our upset of the year, really, as Penn State was rolling along, hoping to be in the chase for the national championship. And then there was just one problem. They threw an interception, and then Daniel Murray came in and knocked home the field goal for the Hawkeyes, and they're the only team that could beat Penn State. That was our upset of the year for our crew.
And how about this kid, Sean Green, huh? The running back?
Oh, he's sensational.
He was at Iowa, then he was out of school for a year with some grade problems, and came back and just had an outstanding year.
Fought his way back not only in the classroom, but what he did on the ground. He had over 100 yards in every game. The Big Ten most valuable player, Doak Walker Award winner, and every defensive coordinator we talked to, if we hadn't seen Sean yet, and we hadn't a couple of those weeks, they said, wait till you see this guy.
Yes. I mean, nobody knew about him.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knew about him. He was not one of the great guys coming back from last year or anything.
Well, we went to Michigan State, Bob, and we were talking to Pat Narduzzi, and he was the defensive coordinator, and he said to us, this is like what, the second or third game of the year, and he said, wait till you see this guy from Iowa run with the football. And we said, who?
And when we did, we were as impressed as Pat was. So that was our surprise player of the year, Sean Green, and you'll see him tomorrow.
You know, we talked about our coaches of the year. I got one I wasn't on that list, but I want to throw it out for you.
Who's that?
Well, Brian Kelly's playing in the Orange Bowl against Virginia Tech.
Right.
How about the job
Frank Beamer does?
that Frank Beamer did with all those guys that he lost last year?
Most underappreciated guy in the business.
Getting those guys back in winning the ACC championship.
Pretty impressive. Jefferson hit as he throws. Ball is loose. It's scooped up by Murphy. And Murphy trying to weave his way out of the end zone and does. Well, when the ball flies around and it doesn't fly Georgia Tech's way, and even when it squirts away from LSU, it goes their way for a gain of 1.
The whole thing tonight has just not gone the way for the Georgia Tech.
Well, guys, we're near the end of this thing, and I won't see you guys until next September, whatever it is.
Good riddance.
Yeah, to you too. You know,
what a nice way to part ways, guys.
I was going to just say
good riddance.
I'm just going to say Happy New Year to everybody except you, Bob. But I will say Happy New Year to Shay, your wife.
Oh, Shay, baby.
Shay,
yeah,
she's neat.
Yeah, thank you.
But for everybody that's watched us and we've enjoyed serving you, and thank you very much. Happy New Year to everyone, and Happy
Beverly
New Year
and
everybody
Nancy
on
and
the
all
call.
of our wives,
yes,
Shay.
yes.
Happy New Year. We won't be with you tonight, except for Brad. He'll be with his wife.
That's right.
Out partying while we're just stuck in traffic.
Well, you guys are still in traffic. When you guys are still in traffic, I'll be at the Red Rabbit.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be in your new car, and I want to see you get all this stuff off of the seats when I get done.
You're not getting anywhere near me with all that stuff on. It's been fun, guys. Our third year coming to a close together, and it's always a blast. We have a great time away from the game and away from the cameras as much as anybody in the business, and that probably bleeds through sometime if you do watch us week in and week out. But to all our crew again and all their families who don't have them around because they're with us, Happy New Year to everybody. Josh Nesbitt throws maybe his best ball of the night to Roddy Jones flying out of bounds. Josh just sort of shaking his head going, we had so many high moments this year, and this is not the one you wanted to take into 2009. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be.
Well, we did have a big high for us this year. We had our producer go into the Hall of Fame in Texas, and that's just phenomenal.
Bob Goodrich going into the Texas High School Hall of Fame. And a long night for the Jackets. They won't have to make a long trip back to their dorm rooms or anything, that's for sure. About 2 miles up North Avenue. And Nesbitt's just going to throw this one as he gets tattooed out of bounds while he's doing it by Shamar Clemens.
Saw in the paper where Percy Harvin was probably going to play for Florida in the national championship game.
We saw him get hurt in that Florida State game. And
then for Oklahoma, DeMarco Murray will not play. But they got some other players behind him.
They got another 1,000-yard rusher that's right next to him, Chris Brown,
and another one that they've got to step in there. That'd be a very exciting game. I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Who you taking?
Well, you know, I was talking about Oklahoma defensively not being as good as I think Florida's got the balance on both offense.
Who are you taking in that one, Paul?
I'm taking Oklahoma. I mean, Stoops from my hometown, Youngstown, Ohio.
Right.
Are you kidding?
Right. You just pick hometowns. I don't know. You know, sometimes you have to pick players and teams.
Well,
I don't know. You just pick hometowns.
I got Penn
Paul
State.
picked his. I got 1-1.
So that means you're taking Penn State because of Darryl Clark, right?
No, I'm taking Southern Cal.
Okay, well then, get away from it then. I'll go with Oklahoma, I guess. When you can score a point a minute, even if you only score a point every 2 minutes, it might be good enough.
So you're going against
Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow.
No, He might be the best football player in the country. I love watching him play.
2 Heisman Trophy winners, Bradford,
Yeah.
Tebow,
Yeah.
in the same game,
Yeah.
playing against each other.
Uh-huh.
Has that ever been done before?
Yeah, it's happened before.
There you go.
Matt Leinart took care of that, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Over Jason White.
Vince Young.
Vince Young. Beg
Vince
your
Young.
pardon. So 4th down and 51 seconds left to the final college football season, final college football game for 2008. Of course, a lot more football coming up on ESPN and ABC tomorrow, including the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, presented by Citi. 4:30 tomorrow afternoon on ABC. We start our coverage as the aforementioned USC Penn State matchup. But for us, the series is winding down here, a 1st down, and the season's winding down with the final 30 seconds for Georgia Tech. Nesbitt's going to air one out, and incomplete. Roddy Jones, the intended receiver. Well, the stands have cleared out, but over 71,000 saw another successful Chick-fil-A Bowl week here in Atlanta. I think all the kids had a great time. I know Coach Miles and his team are going to have a great time heading back home, courtesy of a 35-point win, unless Georgia Tech scores here in the next few seconds.
It's an upbeat way for Les Miles to end this season. Disappointing for sure, but they were in a tough conference. Losses to Georgia, Alabama,
Arkansas in the last second,
and Florida.
Yeah, there's no days off in the SEC.
Yeah.
And Les has said, I don't know where you guys are with that bucket,
Yeah,
but I'm going to get as many of these Louisiana troopers around me as I can because you won't dump it on them.
Normally, one of the players will go up and give him a big hug and hold on to him.
Nesbitt sidearms it out of bounds. Game over. Chick-fil-A Bowl champion LSU Tigers in a romp, 38-3. And a hero as a freshman is with Jack Arute.
And he's got the Chick-fil-A Bowl champion jersey. And Jordan, I'm pleased to tell you that you've been voted the offensive MVP for the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Congratulations. What went into your preparations? You look so loose coming out early, and throughout the course of this game, you didn't look like a freshman.
Man, we had a lot of time to prepare for this game. You know, we worked hard every day just to get ready for Georgia Tech. We knew there was a good team. You know, the defense came out, did what they had to do. Offense was very explosive. And, you know, we just tried to put points on the board.
How important was that first drive, though, to build your team, yours and your team's confidence?
The opening drive is always important, you know what I'm saying? You know, we just came out. We had to execute, and we had to do what we had to do.
I asked your coach, and I'm going to ask Les Miles now. I asked you to grade your quarterback in the first half. How about a grade now as he's the MVP?
When you win, and you're the quarterback, and you make plays like he did, he's very deserving. It's a great first bowl victory for him in his career.
Let's talk a moment about the preparation for this bowl game. Things really didn't go well at the end of the season, but yet you never gave up. Your team never gave up.
This team is resilient. There's a great foundation on this football team that understands how to be champions and how to play. They come off the mat well, and this bowl preparation was hard. It didn't just go easy. It wasn't just, this was an unusual offense to get ready for, and our defense was taxed. They played extremely well in this game. I'm really happy for them. I'm happy for their co-coordinators. The defense played great, and those guys made had a great game plan and called a great game.
Time to go celebrate. Thanks, Coach.
That's exactly right. See you.
Congratulations, Coach Miles and the Chick-fil-A champions for 2008. The Tigers of LSU, they win it 38-3 is our final score. Don't forget, coming up next, live from Las Vegas, the Red Bull New Year's No Limits. For Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Jack Arute, Brad Nessler saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. As we head to Reese Davis in the studio, Happy New Year, everybody.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. So the Mad Hatters taking LSU to the Chick-fil-A Bowl twice. Les Miles' teams have won both. 78-6, the combined scores of victories over Georgia Tech and Miami.